So, uh, topic today is what are the new provisions for return filing under the new Income Tax Act? Basic question whether there is any change or not. So, first of all, the return filing provisions under the new Income Tax Act is going to applicable not from this financial year, rather from the next year. So the new act has is applicable or started to be applicable from 1st of April 2026. So first tax year, not previous year now. First tax year will be 2026-27. That will end on 31st of March 2027, and then after whatever return is required to be filed, that need to be filed under the new Income Tax Act. So that is the thing. So whatever we are going to refer as of now will not affect the return need to be filed for the previous year 2025-26. So for previous year 2025-26, we need to file the return under the old Income Tax Act. Okay, next. So what are the provisions contained? So return filing provisions under the old act is section 139 subsection 1, and under the new act it is a contained under section 263 subsection 1. In this section they have mentioned that who need to file the return. So it will be company and partnership firm, and then after for any other kind of person need to file the return only when their income is above the basic exemption limit, without considering the different deductions and the exemptions what they have referred therein. So over there is no changes there. Second aspect is the return need to be filed though income is below exemption limit. So whether if a income is still need to file if the income is below the exemption limit, so that is covered by the seventh proviso. Let's refer the same. So this is the old Income Tax Act. Over here, seventh proviso we are going to refer this one. This is the seventh proviso. I'm just making it just more comfortable. Okay, done. This is the seventh proviso. Provided also that a person referred to in clause number B, who is not required to furnish a return under this subsection and who during the previous year has deposited an amount or aggregate of the amount exceeding 1 crore rupees in one or more current account maintained with the banking company. So these are the list of the person who need to file the return if these conditions are complied, though otherwise as per the provision they need not to file the return. So if you deposit in a current account more than 1 crore, you have to file the return though your income is nil. Same if you have incurred, point number 2 I'm referring, if your foreign travel expenditure on foreign travel is more than 2 lakh for yourself or any other person, then you need to file the return. If your electricity consumption, so light bill what you have paid for your residential premises is a 1 lakh for a year, in that case you have to file the return. And last, fulfill such other conditions. So some conditions are there over here as well. So they that conditions are prescribed under the rules. So these are the things. So it is the same thing which is there under the new act. I'm going to next. Now, due date to file the income tax return is change. Answer is no. There is no change. So that due date is mentioned in explanation 2 of section 139(1) under the old act. Under the new act, it is a mention under section 263 subsection 1 clause number C. Over here, this due date is slightly changed by the budget of 2026. So earlier, if I need to file the return and my books of accounts are required to be audited, then due date would be at that September or October. But if my books of accounts are not required to be audited, then earlier due date of return filing was 31st of July, but that is extended to 31st of August. So meaning thereby I have a business income, my books of accounts are not required to be audited, then now my due date will be 31st of August. This amendment is not made in the new act, but this amendment is also made in the old act, which will be applicable for us previous year 25-26 as well. So just now we are going to file the return. In that, this amendment will be applicable. Answer is yes. Next, loss return need to be filed within the due date. Loss return need to be filed within due date. Yes. So in the old act, section is given, and new act section will be 263 subsection 1 clause number 8. So if there is a business loss or capital gain loss, we need to file the return within the due date. If that return is not filed within the due date, the loss will not be allowed to be carried forward. The same provision is there. Next, belated return is there. So, what is the provision related to belated return? Any changes there? Answer is no, there is no change. So, belated return can be filed before 3 months from the end of the assessment year in the old act. In the new act, it is mentioned within 9 months from the end of the tax year. Just wanted to clarify, in the old act, there were two terms, previous year and assessment year. So they were referring assessment year to clarify the provisions. In the new act, there is no substitute word for the assessment year. The only word is tax year, which is a substitute of the previous year. So all time limit are mentioned in context to previous year or tax year. So in short, if for this previous year, for example, this previous year 25-26, by what time I can file the bill return? By 31st of December 2026. The same time limit will continue under the new act as well. Okay, whether trust need to be filed return? Answer is yes, though after exemption under section 11 under the old act, after claiming the exemption, sorry, before claiming the exemption, if income of the trust is below the exemption limit, then trust need to file the return. So without considering the exemption of section 11 and of the old act, we need to check whether income is above the exemption limit. If answer is yes, trust need to file the return. The provisions are identical in the old new act. Revised return, same provision. In revised return, there is amendment by Finance Act 2026. So now revised return can be filed by 31st of March of the relevant assessment year under the old act, and the new act by within a 12 months from the end of the tax year. Meaning of the both is same. So let me say tax year is 26-27. So by what time I can file the revised return? By 31st of March 2028. So within 12 up to 12 months. This time limit earlier was up to 9 months only. So this is extended. But in this case, I found small slight change. I need to still check whether in old act amendment is met there or not. But if you are now going to file the revised return under the new act, then you need to pay the late filing fee under section 428 subsection B, though you have filed the original return. So that change I have seen. Next is the updated return. Provisions are more or less identical in the old and new act. There is no changes there. Just giving a brief what is the updated return is. If you have filed the return under section 139(1), 2, sorry, 139(1), 4 and 5, and then after still you wanted to file the updated return, can you file it? Yes, to offer the additional income, and that return can be filed up to 48 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. Just a minute, I need to check. 139(8)(a). Here it is. From the end of relevant assessment year. So 48 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. So you can file updated return within a 48 months from the end of the assessment year. What this return is, why this return is allowed? To offer the additional income. You cannot reduce the loss. You cannot ask the higher refund. Yes, and now one more thing. Earlier, if a notice of reassessment or any assessment notice is issued, whether you can file the updated return, answer was no. But now, because of the amendment made by Finance Act 2026, you can file the updated return even after notice for reassessment is issued. And once you offer that income in the updated return, for the same income, penalty cannot be levied. So this is a very good option is available. For that, even I have prepared one small separate video. Next, defective return is there. So whether defective return provisions are same? Yes, provisions are same. when return will be defective. So for that, list of conditions are given in explanation to section 139.9. The same conditions are given in rule number 166. So that's it. So there is a no differences there under the old act and the new act. That's it. I'm just trying to focus on the very small issues or very brief issues. If I'm going to cover the lots of topics, it's difficult to cover the all the points because I need to read a lot for that. Any queries there? Any queries there? So that's it. I will just conduct such small sessions. Hope that you enjoy this session. Thank you.